Capturing a session in OnTask is intuitive and straightforward. I'll walk you through running your first session and explain how to use OnTask to its full potential. From the main menu, tap Observe. Before we begin the session, we need to fill out some basic information. First, the student name. If you've already ran a previous session with this student, you can load him or her by pressing the Open button, or simply tapping into the student name box and selecting his or her name. If you've never ran a session with this student before, simply type his or her name. Next, we need the teacher's name and the subject. Optionally, you can title the session. If you choose to leave this blank, OnTask will generate a relevant title for you. If you'd like, you can change the session and interval length. They will default to the values chosen in the settings menu. If you find yourself changing these a lot, you can always change the default values in the settings menu to save time in the future. Now, with regard to the session length, you can always end a session early if you wish. You'll also be prompted before the timer ends, so you can optionally add more time to the session. Finally, you can choose to observe only the observed student or to simultaneously observe a control student to compare against. We recommend this for the best data accuracy. When you're ready, press Begin. The screen will flash white when it's ready for an observation. The buttons will gently pulse for 5 seconds, letting you know you can make an observation during this time window. If you are electing to observe a peer as well, halfway through the time interval, the screen will flash again, and the bottom set of buttons will pulse, letting you know it's time for an observation for the control student. Knowing whether the student was on task or off task is only part of the story. It's important to make your data as specific as possible. OnTask enables this with our tagging feature. In the top of the observation screen, you'll see 3 colored tags. Select a relevant tag to help specify what kind of learning environment the student is in. The tag will stick around until you select a new tag. There's no need to select it every single time. The tag names and colors are easily customizable from the settings on the main menu, so feel free to get creative with how you use them. Another important piece of data that OnTask tracks are teacher redirects. If the student is redirected by the teacher to get back on task, simply tap the white button at the top. This will mark when the student was redirected, and we'll easily be able to see if and how it was effective later. If you would like to make a quick note during the session, simply tap the icon, type your note, and press Enter. And finally, you can access the menu at the top right to pause or stop the session early. That's it, you've ran your first observation.